We'll start in a seated position for pranayama practice, emphasizing dirgha pranayama. This beautiful exploration of the breath in 3 parts, anchored in the abdomen. You can start to observe the movement of your diaphragm, the way it drops down and maybe even out and into your hand. If you rest your right hand around your belly button and just start to create some space, some fluidity. And then as the breath expands even further, you can sense your ribs flaring out to the sides. And then the upper ribs, the same effect. So picture your diaphragm dropping down when you breathe in, creating space for the ribs, for the lungs. And then as we breathe out, the muscle relaxes. And the entire body just kind of softens there. The breath out. There's also the cultivation of the bandhas when we exhale. You can start to engage your pelvic floor muscles. We call this mula bandha, the root lock. Thinking about it as a way to isolate and strengthen a connection with your spine from deep within your body. So if you picture the nerves, a collection of nerves kind of spreading off from the lower spine and innervating the pelvic floor. Also the organs in the lower part of our body. Kidneys are here in the deep back, the intestinal folds. So we're breathing to unite with the rhythm, with the heartbeat. It's a very sacred way to begin our practice. And one of my favorite ways to isolate energy and to relax the diaphragm is with sound purification. And this is a great warm-up if you find it somewhat challenging to sense your diaphragm. Sometimes we keep this region overly held and tight, like we're always holding the belly in. So if that's something that you struggle with, it might feel really foreign, really new to relax your tummy when you breathe. So this exercise, sending sound into the diaphragm and into the vital organs, is a way to help release tension, especially if you feel like you're always holding your abdomen. So we'll do the sound purifications now. Still following 3-part breath. This first purification will be for the lower chakras, the liver on the right side, as well as the spleen and stomach, all of the digestive organs, the lower chakras. So Muladhara chakra, root chakra, Svadhisthana chakra, solar plexus, and then Manipura. So right up to about the area of the lower ribs where you can feel your diaphragm. Try to send the sound here. And the sound is ah, really long, deep, and loud. Inhale. like you're squeezing a sponge and you want to get all of the sediment, all of the stale energy out. You can picture that. This is also a really powerful purifier for the emotional axis. If you think about stress in the liver, sometimes there's emotions that just need to be cleansed and move through the body. So it can be helpful to think about your jaw, like really releasing your masseter, releasing your gallbladder fascia from your temples, your jaw. We'll do each purification 3 times. If you didn't, totally catch up with the first one, you can follow along with 2 and 3, or even just pause and rewind this video as many times as you like, so that you can really feel the energy. We'll inhale to prepare. Good to laugh, it's good to sense, it might seem kind of ridiculous to do this, but feel the aftershocks, like coursing through your body with the vibration of sound, the movement of energy. It might feel like you can breathe a little more deeply into certain areas of your body. Maybe you're sitting up a little taller. You can always adjust your seat so that you can really meditate on your spine, central channel. And we'll do one more for the diaphragm, the liver, all of these digestive organs, and the lower chakras. As you're ready, your deepest inhale. You might find that throughout the course of the purifications, there might be like less momentum or less energy that's kind of held. So it's okay if, your 3rd or 4th or 5th purification is not as strong and powerful as your first one. It's totally fine. It's probably totally normal, totally okay to have every expression be a little different. So now we're moving into the heart. And just take a few of your dirga breaths to sense the space of the heart, the realm of the heart. Heart is about the size of our fist, tilted slightly to the left. So if you picture your heart like a vortex, kind of pulling the energy as the blood swirls throughout the body. Heart as the epicenter of the body, not just vitality through our blood, the rhythm of pumping our blood and prana, but also the spiritual epicenter, the spiritual abode of Shen, which is virtuous wisdom, the true source of our soul, our spirit. So that can be comforting. Thinking about the heart too as we transform now with spring heading into the summer season. Heart as this beautiful, joyous, bliss-filled, adventurous energy where we're really invited to explore some more of our hand balancing and arm balancing postures, as well as just feeling really connected to the pulse of life. So when you're ready, this sound is you, and it's up a little higher in your vocal register. So if you have to harmonize with the pitch that I've found, It's totally okay. You can go up, down an octave. Maybe that's better in your vocal range. Or you can just hum. And as you hum, imagine the vibration touching your heart. So it can be helpful to keep your hands connected here. Maybe your thumbs just gently pressing into your conception vessel meridian here, and these little divots in your sternum. Then again, we'll prepare by breathing in fully. One more. Now when we move into the throat chakra, the lung meridian, the thyroid, you might like to concentrate in CV22 here, this little notch in between your collarbones. And the sound is so. Breathing normally in between, or breathing just nice and relaxed to sense the effects of these purifications. Just observing, noticing, breathing. Again, inhale. This is another really great one for dropping your jaw. Just to release tension that you might be holding in your face, your expression. Just think about opening the mouth. One more. Now, just sit up really tall. All of that space open from the sound purifications. And we'll move into the meridian stretches now. So these are fascial stretches and activations to connect us with the meridians. And now we'll start with the lung meridian, so lung tissue. You could picture your lungs, the upper lungs especially, emerging like the canopy of a tree, emerging just behind your collarbones rather, because we have two lungs. But then just follow some fascia into the tip of your thumb. Try to keep your shoulders pulling down your back. And then just press more energy through your thumbs, like you're pressing your thumbs into the walls that surround you. You're pressing into something hard, so it's active. Maybe like you're trying to get your thumbprint, a really nice indentation there, so there's energy moving. And then we also move energy with our breath. So you can close your eyes, start to expand even more lung tissue following the space that our ribs provide for them, for the lungs. So if you can expand your rib cage more into the side, plane, open, 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 lift, 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 deepest breath. And then slowly change. Lung paired with large intestine meridian now. We'll do this one at a time. Extend your right index finger out. Drop your chin into the front of your left shoulder and extend. Still keep your shoulder blade softening down your back. Maybe you can feel how this is like a mirrored line. Fascia where the lung meridian is more the soft side of your arm, large intestine follows the bicep, even up into the side of your neck. And then this meridian crosses into the opposite nostril. Deepest breath. And switch. Extend your left arm out, index finger, chin to chest in front of your right shoulder. And just picture this in layers. So we're just gently spreading connective tissue to affect the deeper muscles and even the organs. Uniting our awareness with each breath, going just a little further. Really feel that beautiful spread through the side of your neck here. One more deep breath. And change. This time we'll come up into our shins like you're setting up for a camel pose. And then bring your shoulders up into your ears. Roll your shoulders down your back and reach through your ring fingers. Start to pull your ring fingers down closer to the floor. And then bring your chin in front of your left shoulder. Reach more through your right ring finger. You can even help your right arm extending. Maybe you bring your left hand into your elbow crease. You can feel, this is more the pericardium meridian, paired with the triple heater here. So we're stretching more of the tricep side of our arms when we do this. And change, bring your arms up, hands through heart center. And again, shoulders up and down your back. Reaching more through your left ring finger now. Chin to chest in front of your right shoulder. And just reach. It's active. So often, I feel like the limiting factors when we think about the physical transformation of yoga and the postures is just not having that animation, not reaching and growing through the pose. So the arms aren't just hanging out. You know, notice the difference between this and this. That's where we're united with the fascia. We can sense the energy. Now coming into the pericardium line, middle fingers deep in the chest. Pericardium's like a sling of fascia moving through the soft side of the arms. You can even move your wrists up and down a little bit here. This one we do both arms at the same time to really press. And create a lot of space through your breath. You can notice if you flex your middle fingers back and pull your shoulder blades down, you can intensify this even more. And it might feel even better to start to raise your arms up, like you're pressing up, like you have wings. And then we're just breathing. The ribs are creating more space for the heart. The pericardium is that bridge between the heart and the diaphragm. So it's a very emotional connection there related to our breath rhythm. Now, last one, take your deepest breath. Slowly change, and we'll come into our heart and small intestine meridian. So this is the pinky finger. We'll do this one arm at a time, left arm up and over the crown of your head. See if you can get your left hand in between your shoulder blades. Bring your right hand to meet your left hand, so you're interlacing your fingers together like a little hammock for your heart to rest in. And then just keep the natural curve of your spine. So maybe a little scoop in your low back, so you're not dumping in your low back. Just have a really nice S curve in your spine. The natural curves of your spine. So you can go into a deeper back bend. Start to let the back of your head fall into your upper arm. And a few more breaths here. Sensing the connection between your shoulder and your heart. This one is so good for not only the heart, but also the spine, the shoulders, just maybe even the spirit in general. It just feels very uplifting to really open up the chest. Switching sides as you're ready. Guiding your right elbow up and left hand up your back. And don't worry if you can't interlace your hands yet. You can work with a strap. Or just bring your left hand to your right elbow. So you're just helping your right arm. And this would be another variation. But maybe feel a little bit of tingling if you feel the nerves spreading through your fascia. It's totally normal. Just as long as nothing's pinching. If you ever have like a sharp pinch, or it's like really cold or hot or sharps all of the sudden, then that might be a signal to just adjust the pose. Just really try to go inside of yourself too. Close your eyes. Meditate on your heart. Deepest breath. Maybe a little smile. Gratitude for this practice, for being alive. And then just go ahead and bring your fascially opened arms right into your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. You can bend your knees. We haven't done a whole lot to open up the leg meridians yet. So if you want to pedal it out, or even just think about keeping your knees a little more bent, pressing into your arms, growing length through your spine, tailbone to the crown of your head. And then just go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet. We'll go ahead and open up the back body now, the bladder meridian. Just starting with a little acupressure on our outer ankles. Just below your ankle bones here, bladder 63. Relaxing your head, chin to chest. Maybe even shake your head out here. Scooping up the base of your skull here. Nice little release. For the entire back body. So the bladder meridian begins in the inner corners of our eyes. Makes its way up into the forehead, the crown of the head, and then back to the nape of our neck. So you can catch your fingers in here, scooping up the base of your skull, bladder 10. And then just picture all of this fascia from the spine, the erector spinae, down through the sacrum, and then splitting off into your hamstrings, all the way down through the backs of your calves. You can always do more of an active release for bladder fascia with little fist taps here, maybe in your Achilles. If you have your feet placed wider apart, that's also more gentle for the back body. And then just go ahead and release with a halfway lift here, Ardha Uttanasana, walking yourself all the way out, and then lower knees, chest, chin down to the mat as you breathe out. Breathe in, cobra. And breathe out, downward dog. Now we'll do a few sun salutations. Moving with breath. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back. Knees, chest, chin. So elbows in tight. Lengthen your legs back and then contract your back body. Your glutes are held. Even the backs of your arms. Think about that triple heater meridian here. Elbows pulling down, shoulder blades down, and then you can open the front of your spine here. Pressing back, downward dog. Now in the spring and the summer, we're working a little bit more of this buoyant, springy energy that helps us connect with the heart meridian and the arm line. So we just start to practice a float up to the top of our mat. And we're just thinking about getting our hips high, hips over shoulders. So try to take your time as you do this. Try to land lightly. Practice it about 4 or 5 times. See if you can bring more energy into your arms and your hands. So for a moment, your arms are kind of bearing the weight of your body. And it's okay to pause this video and keep working on that. We'll meet up in Tadasana. Let's go ahead and add our Utkatasana to our flow. Reach the energy back into your heels, reaching your arms forward, biceps behind your ears, sinking a little lower. Inhale to open. Sink a little lower, reach through your pinky fingers, spiral them in towards one another. And then fold. Lengthen your spine, look forward, and then flow. Knees, chest, chin, cobra, and downward. Let's do a few more. Sun salutations, feet to hands. Fold, rise, right away, fold, lengthen, and take it back and down. Think of your spine, moving the energy. Breathe all the way out. Top of the mat, fold, rise, fold, lengthen, and go for it. Let's do one more. Rise, fold, lengthen, and breathe out. Breathe in. Hang out in your Adho Mukha just observing. The more open we become, the more warm, lengthened, spacious, then we can start to refine. So in downward dog, what would you like to focus on? Maybe your leg lines, spreading your toes. Maybe your heels can come closer to the mat as you press your heart closer to your legs. Maybe it's relaxing your head. Maybe it's just closing your eyes and letting your breath deepen. And as you're ready, lift your gaze, step your right foot forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 2. Reverse, breathe in. And then take it back, hold your plank, and then center your right hand, Vashisthasana. Think about the arm lines here. Lifting and pressing up. Maybe your left toes come back behind you. Inhale. And then exhale to flow. Inhale up. And exhale back. Other side. Left foot forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, reverse. Breathe out, hold, high plank. Left hand centers, Vashisthasana, or wild thing, or any other expressions. Breathing in and out. Keep the elbows in tight. Squeeze the back body. And then lengthen the back body. We'll do that again, just adding on another pose. Right foot forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Open 2. Reverse. Now lengthen your right leg long. And as you come back, find your Trikonasana. So you want to make all of these triangles now with your body. You can bring a block if that's helpful. Strengthening your legs, opening your side body, getting into your ribs, your shoulder, your lung. And then change. Step back to plank. Right hand centers. Vashisthasana. Now, think about a variation. Bending your left leg, reaching for your knee, so you can start to lift more of your heart up here. So it's like a back bend. Let the head go back. And then flow. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Left foot forward. Vira 1, 2. Reverse. Lengthen. Left leg. Everything's strong. Especially your legs as you come forward. There's almost a little scoop happening in your low back. So you want to feel this like you're lengthening the leg meridians, the leg fascia. As the arms open, and breathe more into your side body. Opening your ribs. Release, plank, left hand, Vashisthasana. Try to get your left foot flat to the floor as you reach for your right knee. Pressing into that left foot, especially the big toe. And lifting through your heart. Now some of you might like to drop that right foot, come all the way back into your wheel. Just for maybe a breath or two, and then we'll all meet back up after a vinyasa. Down dog. Now press into your strong Vashisthasana hands and work on your float. Pretend you're in Vashisthasana. Feel that energy. Fold. Rise and center. Bring your feet together. Arms by your sides. Just be in Tadasana here. We'll make our way next into Eagle, Garudasana. So Garudasana is a balancing posture. So right away, spreading your toes, anchoring through your feet. Inhale your arms up and exhale your right arm under your left. Wrap your arms like a rope. Pretend you're wrapping your arms around your spine. Sinking back and down like Utkatasana, wrap your right leg on top of your left. Now your right foot might hang free here. It might hang freely, or you can step on a block. If you can wrap it behind your left leg, you can sink even deeper. Hugging your knees to level your hips. Sink deeper. Hug your elbows to lower your shoulders. Sink deeper. Feeling the arch, the sole of your left foot strengthening as you sink even deeper for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can splash out, reach for your mat, or just lengthen your right leg back and long, coming into high lunge. So you might need to open your left foot out. Because our feet were together here, space your left foot more out to the side. Now squeeze the back of your right leg, your glutes, your hamstrings, palms together overhead. Lift the heart, and then change. Touch the edge of your mat, little fingertip lunge, and then step your right foot up, Parshvottanasana. Pyramid, spread your toes around your spine now, chin to chest. Just breathe, go into your back body. See if you can keep your quadriceps held as you spread your hamstring fascia. If you want more, opposite hand to opposite elbow, or interlace your fingers, right thumb on top. And you can gaze at your left big toe, or look into your navel. Watch your breath. Can you press more? Can you ground more into your legs, the bottoms of your feet? And then change. Hands plant forward, step your feet back, and move through a flow. Maybe you come into Chaturanga now. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. A few breaths. Spread your toes. Moving the energy. Maybe you can go a little deeper with your breath. And then look forward, float, walk, make your way up, top of your mat. fold. Rise, look up. And again, reset to Tadasana. Just feel the stack of your body and how our posture could contribute to a more complete breath. Standing tall, nice and stacked, in proper alignment. And then bring your feet together. A little space between your heels to protect your inner ankle bones. Arms up, gaze up. Left arm under. Left leg over. So a good trick to remember if you're maybe a newer yoga teacher or just developing your home practice is your legs always wrap the opposite direction as your arms, or the opposite way. So if your left leg is on top, your left arm is on the bottom. Or if right arm goes under left, then right leg will go on top. So it's easy to cue that way. To just say left arm under, left leg over. It'll always be the same leg as the arm that's also doing the action. Find your drishti. Settle back in with breath, with sensation. Maybe sink a little bit lower. Feel that right foot, your standing leg. And then release. Hands heart center or to the floor. Extend back. As you land, you can adjust your right foot. Bring it in front of your hip, your shoulder, and then squeeze. All you're thinking about is squeezing the back of your left leg as hard as you can. Glutes, hamstrings, everything engaged. Maybe palms together, gazing up. And then change. Touch the mat. Step your left foot up. Pyramid. Round. But try to also keep your legs strong here. As you're rounding, we're thinking about the contraction of our front body, helping the back body to lengthen. So rounding in. Squeeze your legs a little more. And then change. Hands forward, feet back. Flow. And downward dog. Breathing all the way out. Now we'll gaze forward, step our left foot forward, low lunge, right knee to the mat. Keep squeezing the back of your right leg, just as you did in high lunge. And bring your arms up. Gaze up. Level your pelvis. You can stay here, or see if you can reach your hands down the back of your right leg. Opening the front of our body, stomach meridian especially, And also thinking about the spleen meridian here, just sinking the hips lower. And then we'll add a twist. Coming back out, right arm up, back of your right shoulder, outside of your left knee. Feel your side body lengthening. Ears, temples, back of your head. Keep your left big toe grounded as you open your chest. Just feeling the entire side body spreading here. IT band, jaw. And then we'll move into lizard. Plant inside of your left foot. Get your right forearm down first and then your left. Staying here to drop into a more spacious breath. You can watch your breath. And a great spot here for those of you who are advancing your practice, working on more arm balancing or inversions. You can always work on a stronger expression. Maybe you keep your right knee off the mat. You can hang out here. Some of you might like to bring your left foot into the center of your mat, getting your left shoulder underneath your left leg. This is good prep for Ekapada Kundinyasana. And if you're working Ekapada Kundinyasana, you come up into your Chaturanga Dandasana. So left elbow into your left hamstrings, and then think about a little teeter-totter, heart to the floor, legs extending up. You can play around with that. A really great way to work with finding flight is to bring a block level 1 or 2, and all you're doing with this block is letting it support your back hip. So as you come into the arms, try to think about setting your right hip bone, iliac crest, down on the block, and just play around with what it really boils down to is the strength of the bandhas. To lock the navel and float the legs. So that's one option to work on. The other option is a little more flexibility. You know, maybe you're more of a runner, cyclist in the summer. You want to work on opening up your quadriceps. If you can't reach your back foot, you work with a strap. Bringing that strap around to bring your foot up to you. And then we'll come back to the strap with another fun variation. But for right now, just go ahead and hang out a couple more breaths in your variation of lizard. We're working on Ekapada Kundinyasana. And then when you're ready to come back, let's go ahead and journey through a flow, pressing ourselves up. One more Vashisthasana, right hand centers. Bring your left knee into your left hand. Go for it. Reaching up. Maybe you go all the way back on this side too. Press into your heart. And then flow. We'll lower, come up. And now let's go upside down. So if you're newer to inversion practice, just try Ardha Shirsasana, which is a half headstand. We'll all set up headstand for this first inversion. The grip with your hands, interlace your fingers, elbows shoulder width apart, bringing the crown of your head to the mat. And if you're not sure where the crown of your head is, thumbs to your upper ear cartilage, caress the top of your skull. Where your middle fingers meet is an approximate, if you draw like a little ring on your head. You just don't want to be too far back. It's okay to be a little further forward. This is the Bregma headstand. You'll just have a little more of a scoop in your low back, but you probably already know that if you're advancing your headstand practice, coming into backbends and stuff. So let's just find foundation, because if we have strong foundation, we can do anything. Lift your hips up and just hang out here. Your toes are still on the mat, and then all you're going to do is play around with putting more balance, more strength in your arms. As you lower your heels closer to the mat, it's more like a downward dog or a lizard. As you lift your heels up, you can walk your toes in. Eventually, the legs become so light, we just lift them off of the mat. And then just focus on your drishti. Go inside. You can work on any variations here. If you want to work on other entries, you can also walk your feet wide. I think this one is really wonderful for the liver meridian, especially the inner thighs, and then you can try spinning it around. But just play around with it. You can move over to a wall, pause this video, spend about 3 to 5 minutes working on your inversion, switching sides. So if you always grip your hands with your right index finger on top, switch the grip of your fingers, just so you have a different way of experiencing your shoulders. Maybe also a different relationship to the posture, When you're ready to come back, a beautiful counter posture for Shirsasana. It's just a child's pose. You can relax your forehead down on your mat, knees wide. You can play around with variations in your arms too. Palms facing up maybe. And let your breath come back. And then return. Adho Mukha. We'll step our right foot forward, Anjaneyasana. Low lunge. Maybe you support this side, hands to the low back. Squeeze the back of your left leg, so back body is strong, front body will open. And if you want to add your arms, or you can reach back. Release, twist, back of your left shoulder, outside of your right knee. Stack your shoulders, keep your hips level. And just try to drive your right knee into your left armpit there. Imagine like you're going to touch heart one, deep in your armpit. You can keep squeezing the back of your left leg, pressing into your right big toe, breathing to massage your left side body. And then release. Uttan Prishtasana, lizard variations. Either come down into your forearms and work on the arm balance variations, or even just finding more strength, like you're in a forearm plank. Left knee off the mat. Again, to see the block setup for Ekapada Kundanyasana on this side, you're going to walk your right foot in, bring it in front of your shoulder, come into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Leaning forward, even coming forward more than you think. So you can lean the heart down and lift the legs up. You can continue to work on that, or just enjoy being low. Softening the liver meridian here on this side, or working with your strap, with or without your strap, to reach back, opening your left quadriceps. Find your breath, meditating on these fascial lines. When you're ready, pressing into your final Vashisthasana here. And the expressions becoming all the way back and around here. Opening your heart. Release. Move through your flow. And again, let's go upside down. If you'd like to work on Pincha Mayurasana, feathered peacock pose, we can make our way up into a dolphin, coming into forearms parallel. Walk your tippy toes in. Try to stack. And again, just as we did with Shirsasana, we're just hover holding, bringing more strength into our arms. Trying to keep the gaze lifted. So you can give it a try. If you lift one leg up, and then the leg that's on the mat can just kind of bend and give a little bounce. It might be easier with one leg than the other. And just play around. You can also come over to a wall. It's a good way to learn, just to build trust. It's to practice with a wall. And eventually bringing your strength away from the wall so that you know you can do it without kicking up and holding yourself against the wall. So give that a try too, especially if you've been practicing for a while and you just want to try to do it without the wall, or maybe have a partner or a loved one spot you for a few times. You know, out in the grass is perfect in the summer. And then same counter posture here, just a child's pose. But if you'd like to work on that flipped wrist expression, I just find that this is a really nice way to strengthen that back of the heart. Like triple heater, small intestine strength. So when your palms are facing up, you can pull the backs of your hands closer to your face and just kind of light up the backs of your shoulders. And then downward dog. Let's do one more little series here, and then we'll deepen into some backbend practice that will really help us with opening up the heart. This beautiful seasonal transition. So top of the mat, walk, float, whatever you need. You can walk if you want to conserve a little bit of your energy. Peace finger grip your big toes and pull your heart. Try to have no space between your chest and your thighs. Really round. And then release, come up. Hands, heart center. Shift into your left foot. And release your fingers around your right shin. Standing wind relieving pose. And try to stand tall. You can do some circles in your right ankle. You feel the back body line here, as well as the spleen, the kidney and the liver, the inner arch, the big toe of our standing leg. And then we'll extend back, warrior three. Press the mat away underneath your left foot. Lengthen everything. You can keep your hands heart center. point your right toes. Squeeze the back of your right leg and then land one more time, high lunge. Back bend, high lunge, your deepest expression. Squeeze the back of your right leg. Look up, arms up. Go back. Look back. And then come down. Touch the mat. Right knee to the ground. And we'll come into Ardha Hanumanasana or Hanumanasana, our front splits next. So lengthen your left leg just like we did in Parshvottanasana in the pyramid pose. It's the same idea, guiding your right hip forward, pulling your left toes back so you feel the back of your left leg lengthening. And then to work on full Hanuman, you can come up into a nice stacked position here, shoulders, hips, pelvis. Keeping your left quadriceps engaged, see if you can press out through the bottom of your left foot. Keep your hips level. Squeeze the back of your right leg. And then gradually what starts to happen is the fascia is lengthening here. The muscles are held. Reciprocal inhibition, so everything's safe. And then we can explore coming down, maybe all the way down. But just be really patient. It's nice if you have blocks, because what happens is it might feel like splits is here today. Keeping pelvis level, working on more of this intrinsic awareness, the front of the spine. So Hanumanasana is a great posture for harmonizing the front and the back body, strengthening the stomach and the spleen meridians, which can also help the liver. It just feels really centering, Hanumanasana. And then the block can come down. This is a great posture to work on for 10, 15 minutes each side every day, just to really create the space. Flexing your toes. See if you can follow the stomach meridian from your second toe to your lower eye. Just feel. Try to be less concerned with how a posture is supposed to look. And think about how it feels in your body. Do you feel strong and centered? Maybe there's a little challenge happening, but nothing too crazy. Stay where you can still breathe. And just go ahead and hang out a couple more minutes here. We want to hold these postures for time so that the fascia can memorize this new position. So it's very important to stay still. Focus on your breathing. It might also feel nice to kind of explore rolling. And maybe you come more into the inner groin, the inner thigh of your left leg. That's a little bit more of the liver meridian and the kidney meridian. So you can play around with kind of exploring these different strips of fascia. Following them with your awareness. And we can build a little bit of muscle memory too when we start our more flexibility focused asanas on the left side, that yin side, the more receptive side, and try to translate that into the right side. So just being patient here. See if you can stay for one more minute, your best breaths. Now, let's bring this right over into pigeon. Just bend your left leg. Try to keep your shin more parallel with the top edge of your mat. Block underneath your left hip for this expression as well. Scooting your right knee back, walking over to the right. So you're inside of your left foot. I can show you. It might be easier to see this on the other side. So your front leg is supported by the block. You're opening the angle of this front shin. So you isolate your IT band and then walk inside of your left foot. You can stack your fists. And again, this longer hold for time to open the fascia. Deep, deep breaths. Where can we soften? Just let go of any place you're holding here, whether it's your shoulders, maybe it's your jaw. And just a few more moments here to transform. Remember tapas. The pain is power, is the catalyst for transformation. tapas, svadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana. Practice, self-study, and surrender, they're all involved in the navigation of our asana practice. And to develop a little bit more of this internal, like what I would probably correlate the most with the surrender piece, is the bandhas, like this energy of being within the body, within what's happening inside. We can thread a beautiful little back bend into Kapotasana. So this might be a great place to come back to your strap. We'll still stay in our left leg, just closing the angle of this front leg. So we started with the opened shin, isolating more of the IT band, and now we're closing the angle, left knee in front of your left hip, in front of your shoulder. You can bring your strap into your right hand, hook it around your right foot, guide your right foot behind your right shoulder, bring your right elbow overhead. Left hand into your left big toe. Now you can stay here and just allow the strap to help you open your arm, meridians here, especially your heart. Maybe you can reach a little closer to your foot. If you can get your foot, you can try the same thing, reaching for left big toe, reaching for foot, and then try to come inside of yourself, front of your spine. And just taste a little bit of that juxtaposition between the effort and the ease. If you're new to adding the back bend here, just work on lengthening your fascial lines with mermaid. So just bending your right leg. Maybe you can get your toes into your right armpit or your elbow. If you get your toes into your armpit, you can work on acupressure here. A beautiful little connection between your toes and heart one. And keep playing around. You can go back and forth between mermaid and reaching around. Another nice expression to work on is coming back. Trying to catch your foot when it's behind you, which is a little bit trickier. Play around, mermaid or backbend with the strap. Maybe both hands to the strap. And just go ahead and change. You can sit up into your Ardha Matsyendrasana. I'll do a seated spinal twist here. Right knee up, left arm up, twist to the right. You can hug your right knee in or get the back of your left shoulder and outside of your right knee. Spine is tall. Maybe a little tuck of your chin to your chest, chin over your sternum, and then just your eyes gazing to the right. Lengthen the back of your left shoulder. And breathe all the way out. And change. You can come back into your downward dog. Lengthen your spine. Reconnect with your breath. And then lower knees, chest, chin coming all the way down into your front body. We'll practice 3 sets of floor bow, Dhanurasana. First set, reaching for the front of each ankle, thumbs pointing down, knees squeezing together, point your toes, and then think kicking straight up, gaze up. Stay in this softer part of your tummy between your ribs and your hips. Breathe in. Entire back body strong, deepest breath. And release. Left cheek to the mat. Just totally relax. Second set with Dandayama Dhanurasana grip. So thumbs will point up. Try to kick straight up. Gaze up. And change. Right cheek to the mat. Relaxed. Now let's do one more set with lion's breath. 5 lion's breaths to release any tension from the front body, from deeper in the vital organs, from the throat, the stomach meridian. And then after we release, we'll try coming back into Raja Bhujangasana. Coming into a king cobra, just to sense the front of the spine, which is especially potent when we develop this internal foundation of support for backward bends, heart openers. So choosing your favorite expression of the arms or the expression that you found a little more challenging. As you're ready, kick up, breathe in. Lion's breath, breathe out. Knees wide, toes together. And downward dog. Let's come up to the top of our mat. Again, you can just walk. You get to the top, bend your knees, relax into your Uttanasana. And then rising up. Gaze up, heart up. Hands, heart. And just split your feet apart. Bring your balance into your right foot. Standing wind relieving. I feel like there's a little suction cup under your right foot. Just kind of play around with the lift through your arch, the engagement of your back body, so your glutes, especially if you bring a little more balance back into your heel. Just stand up a little taller, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the left leg in. Strongest standing leg. And then keep that right leg strong as you reach back into Virabhadrasana 3. So like you're pressing the mat away, you can even bring your hands down under your shoulders like plank. You just want to keep the front body strong. Point your left toes, press into your right foot, land your high lunge. One more time, just squeeze the back of your left leg, lift your heart. And then release. Left knee down. Hanumanasana on the right side now. Steering your hips just like Parshvottanasana, left hip forward, right hip back. Just think about a really slow, steady, gradual descent. You can keep squeezing the back of your left leg here. Maybe you come a little lower. Not even really efforting this at all. It's all gravity because the fascia has been there before. There's a little more trust involved. You can always place a block under your right leg or a blanket. And then just reconnect with your breath here. Just remember that we'll hold for time to really allow the pathway to spread and lengthen, so please feel free to journey into your variations, whether it's going more into the inner groin of your right leg, more liver meridian. It's a great option. You can work your backward bending here if that's in your practice. Bending your back leg. And just staying compassionate and curious. Every day is different. There's always a new way of relating to ourselves. Just allowing a little bit more of our intuition to help guide us, especially when we're meditating on fascia. Just try to keep your right quadriceps held. Really nice and strong press there to connect with the spleen. Stomach and spleen, the front body, and then even deeper. Spleen is like the muscular integrity, muscular conditioning of the entire body. It's a really powerful meridian. Please feel free to pause this video. If at any moment you feel like staying longer in an asana, you can always catch back up. It's the beauty of virtual practice. So please don't feel rushed to move on at any moment. When you are ready, let's come into Kapotasana. So bring the block under your right hip to start with, especially as we open up this angle of our front leg. Spinning your left hip down as best as you can, walking to the left. So you catch that beautiful acupressure point. Gallbladder 31, 32 right here in the IT band. You can flex your foot if you want to protect your knee or connect with your fourth toe. Maybe you cradle your face, putting some gentle pressure in your temples. forehead, just to allow this fascia to spread. No tension in your jaw. Soft face. You can close your eyes and just let gravity and your breath help just soften any tension that you might be harboring here. Moving the energy. If this feels really good and you'd like to stay folding forward, by all means, you're welcome to. Maybe you even come down off of the block and work on a variation here, trying to get your chest, your shoulders to rest on your ankle and your knee. And then go ahead and decide, you want to stay folding forward or come up. Work on some back bending. You can close off the angle of your front leg now, bringing your heel maybe even into the front of your pelvis here. Just want to find the front of your spine, and then bring your back leg in and up. Mermaid. And then just find your drishti. There's just one thing to focus on. And sensations with your breath. And as we go deeper, just exploring maybe heart one in your left armpit here. Feeling some beautiful release from the left quadriceps there. And then just go ahead and decide. Choose a variation that feels like a beautiful balance between effort and ease in your body. So there's maybe slight effort, but mostly your body's allowing you to explore catch the strap. Gomukhasana is always a great heart opener. You can always find that here too. Left elbow up, right hand up your back, or left elbow up, right hand to your left elbow. Maybe walk your hands back on the strap. You can catch your foot. Take your time. Pause the video if you want to keep working. We'll meet up in Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated spinal twist. Left knee up, hugging your left knee in, right arm up, twisting to the left. So you can hug your knee in or work your shoulder around, and ideally just spreading your chest. Nice spinal twist here. Gaze to the left. You're always welcome to bind here as well, if that's part of your practice. Don't shortchange yourself in these twists. Stay a little bit longer. Just observe. These are some of the original postures. It's not just something that we do for, 1 or 2 breaths right at the end of class. Spend some time here. When you are ready to release, we'll come onto our backs. Bring your feet together, knees open wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand to your heart, right hand to your navel. Come back into that Dirga Pranayama. 3 parts to your breath. Navel rises, ribs flare, chest opens to the side body. And then back down. You can cactus your arms if you would like. Bringing your knees together, opening your feet hip width distance apart, lifting up into your bridge pose. Interlace your fingers, left thumb on top this first set. Palms squeeze to touch, grounding into your big toes. Watch your breath. One more inhale. And exhale. This time, feet to the edges of your mat, knees in toward one another. Heart mudra with your hands, so thumbs up into your hairline. Your other four fingers just caressing your lower jawline. Soften your tongue. Close your eyes. And second set, Setu Bandhasana. Right thumb on top, chin to chest, walk your shoulders in. Just ground into your big toes. Squeeze your glutes. Chin to chest. Deepest inhale. And release. Now, feet together, knees wide. Bring your hands to the front of each ankle. Press your knees down into the floor. See if you can go a little deeper into your liver meridian, into your groin. Pressing the bottoms of your feet together. It might feel like a little warmth spreading there, like the sensations we experience in frog or middle splits. Now, yogi's choice for this final asana before Shavasana. And maybe, if we have time, a supine spinal twist too. If you'd like something more restorative, come into your halasana, come into your plow pose, and then your shoulder stand, sarvangasana. If you'd like something more energizing, if this is a morning practice for you, come into Urdhva Dhanurasana, your full wheel. So I'll show you both options. Full wheel, you're just going to bring your feet back into your setup for bridge. Fingers face towards your shoulders, thumbs in close to your ears, elbows pointing up. On a nice deep breath in, come up. You can stay here. Maybe you work on some variations of wheel. Forearms to the mat, lengthening your legs. You can also come up into Ekapada Urdhva Dhanurasana if you want to kick up one leg at a time. This is more energizing. So you can stay here. If, however, you would like something a little more restorative, or if you just want to lengthen your back body to prepare for Yoga Nidrasana or anything else, hips up over your shoulders, toes over your head, heels over your toes, lengthen your spine. Chin to chest, this feels so good. It's so good for us. And you can stay here or shoulder stand. If that's in your practice, maybe variations. Otherwise, we can practice a little yoga nidrasana. So this is a very beautiful back body lengthener. Legs behind the head. So pick a leg, bring your knee over your shoulder, bring your chin to your chest. Bring your other leg up, knee behind your shoulder, and hook your feet together. Now you can roll back so that you're in your shoulder blades and lengthen your lower spine. This one's really good for our kidneys and also the back body, the bladder meridian. Halasana, Sarvangasana. You can make your way back. Let's all meet up in Ananda Balasana for a moment here. Happy baby. Just massaging your back body, kidneys, the QL in there. And then we can finish with easy spinal twist. So just bring your knees together. Let them fall over to the left. Try to stack your knees. Hips stack, and then shoulders open, bringing your right hand down into the mat. Left hand to your right ribs. You can feel your breath rise and fall, rise and fall. And switch, hips shift to the left, knees drop off to the right. Stack your hips and your knees, let your left shoulder fall. Back, ground, back. Left palm to the mat if you want. Right hand to your left knee if you feel it pulling back, or to your left ribs, side body. What can we soften here? Sinking deeper into our mat. if there are any other postures that you need, that you crave to complete your asana practice, please feel free to pause the video and go into it. Otherwise, relax everything. Opening up into your final Shavasana, everything still. If you like, one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, maybe massaging the base of your skull into your mat, gallbladder 20 there. Even little massages with your fingers to your temples, just releasing any tension. Remaining in stillness as long as you have time for, to support the synthesis of this practice, this journey inward. When you are ready to return, you can lift up into a nice seat, the tall spine, reconnecting your hands, heart center. We honor this practice, we dedicate our energy to live, to serve the collective benefit of all beings, everywhere, in all time. May we all attain peace and awaken. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, shanti, shanti.